Approaching LZ Washington, the giant helipad at the heart of Baghdad's green zone. This is the major hub for American bases through the country, and a point through which many soldiers pass en route to their final destination. Seen from above, Iraq appears calm. The lake-rimmed palaces of the old dictatorship, in contrast to the capital's modern apartment blocks. An alien cityscape, and a long way from home for these soldiers. 20 minutes flight from Baghdad is Camp Taji. It's one of the biggest US bases in the country, home to some 12,000 soldiers. Among them, these relative newcomers from the US infantry. They arrived from Hawaii at the beginning of January. The division is led by Lieutenant Fulton, a serious-minded soldier who's well aware of the risks.
We'll head north, about 2,000 meters short of 59 Alpha, about 1,000 meters north of 101. We'll stop, dismount at the two warehouses and the one structure. Dismount. Rose is going to do a radio check for tonight's mission.
The troops are almost ready to leave. Before they head off, some final words of encouragement and a last-minute chance to psych themselves up.
1, 2, 3, score!
They're known as strikers, so called after their mammoth 19-ton vehicles. These reinforced 8-wheelers are custom-made for war in Iraq, built with one purpose in mind: to protect soldiers.
Then this is a map of all the vehicles.
More than 29,000 military personnel have been wounded in Iraq. A week earlier, a group of their friends were hit by a mine planted in the road. Everyone inside the vehicle was wounded. With a toot of the horn, it's time to leave camp.
Hey, lock and load! Lock and load! Lock and load it!
Using exterior cameras, the troops observe the potentially hostile environment. But before long, they have to go outside to complete this reconnaissance mission. Lieutenant Fulton and his men know that this region in the north of Baghdad is one of the most dangerous in the country.
Get over here and switch me to company.
Rock base, Rock 69, radio check over. Rock JSS, Rock 69, radio check over. Clear, sir.
All right.
Roger, 69 out.
Low-lying shrubbery is perfect for hiding cables and homemade mines, but finding them isn't easy.
Usually they'll put them right on the road and pull the wire back to maybe behind this rubble so you don't see the person.
Barely 10 minutes have passed before they leave. The longer they stay in one place, the more vulnerable they are. The troops will spend the night at an army post in Mushada, which they share with Iraqi police. It's all part of the new strategy.
It's us and Iraqi people doing this together, and hopefully down the road we're going to turn this back over to them so they can provide their own security in there. And you trust them? Some.
Building trust takes time. Iraqis and Americans share facilities at this former police station, but they each have their own jobs to do. On orders from Baghdad, the Iraqis aren't authorized to speak to the media. It's just the American commander who speaks, but only then when he has to.
Again, check back, and we'll see if we have more wood for you.
Meals are taken separately, a question not only of taste, but also trust. As night falls, the Iraqi police have work to do. The US Army as well. An Iraqi informer says insurgents have planted a mine close to the base. It must be found as soon as possible. Equipped with night vision goggles, they venture into the dark. At night, the fields are all but deserted. Sergeant Lasko is in charge. This isn't the first time he has been there.
Code
codename Martinez, doesn't remember which bridge it is, and for position 2 on the roof to laze the bridge. Over.
There's no mine to be found. A false alarm perhaps, but all warnings must be taken seriously. Newly arrived, these conscripts are motivated and alert. They know they're at the start of a 15-month tour and that they'll have to apply the new American strategy to work with their old enemies, the insurgents, and to win hearts and minds.
We pay better than Al-Qaeda, which I hope is not the case. You know, I honestly hope that these sheikhs, these local elders, are influencing their military-aged men to you know, stay away from getting involved in things like that.
You're not afraid that one day they could go back to the insurgency?
Yeah, it's always in the back of your mind. You know, let's see, how do I say this properly? You still watch your back. You know, you hope that these people are sincere, but we're still in a combat zone.
The theory is far from simple. In practice, even less so. The following morning, the strikers head across the road. The troops are on their way to meet their new friends in the village school. The goal? To coordinate security with the district's military, police and tribal leaders. Security is tight for the meeting. Across the country, such gatherings are often targeted by Al-Qaeda. The American colonel commanding the squad has come especially. And out of politeness, he removes his protective vest. He is, after all, among friends.
In the last 7 days, we've lost Iraqi soldier, we've lost police, shirtas, we've lost CLCs, and we've also lost coalition forces. Last week, everybody paid for security with the blood of our soldiers and our beloved people.
The Iraqis appear to grow irritated. Some feel the new Al-Sahwa militia is encroaching on the Iraqi army's authority.
I received the orders from my superiors. It's forbidden to carry arms. The militia aren't allowed in the streets, even the Al-Sahwa. It's the army which protects the streets, not the guys with badges.
The tribal chiefs give their take on the situation.
Let me explain. When you speak, have respect for others. When you say that it's the Iraqi army protecting the streets, that's just not true. It's not you, and it's not the Americans.
The colonel is looking isolated. In security terms, the tribal leaders hold the most sway. And today they leave en masse in a show of strength. But later that day, back at his headquarters in Camp Taji, the American officer says he remains hopeful.
You have to have guarded optimism. You have to be realistic. You know, the soldiers, you know, my soldiers still have to go in harm's way, and we still have to take care of our force protection. And you have to be very specific about who gets empowered with power. Having spent a year in Bosnia as well as part of I4, you know, it can be done.
Yeah.
You know, it can be done. So I think that it's worth it.
The Americans may have changed their tack, but allying themselves to yesterday's enemies is a risky enterprise. There are now 80,000 militiamen here in the payroll of the United States.